Hey everybody, welcome back to Train Sim World 4. Previous episode, we did the Doncaster to Peterborough line on the LNER. We failed the mission because we did all of the objectives, but at the very last mission where we were required to stop at Peterborough, I overran a red signal. But hopefully, we won't make that mistake again as we go back to the Antelope Valley Line of Metrolink. Our next mission here is going to be called Blockbuster. Anybody remember when that company was still around, like 20 years ago? A good place to rent videos. A good thing about this, though, is that we got a pretty short time of 40 minutes. The difficulty is going to be a little higher than Confair or Impossible Mission, but we managed to complete a harder mission with the Class 66 in the United Kingdom, so I'm sure we can accomplish this. Just got to be more careful, make sure we don't overrun any station platforms or pass any red signals, and we should be able to get a pretty good time. Although, it doesn't really matter what time you complete, but got to do everything you can quickly and efficiently. Today, you'll be working on a film set for an upcoming action movie, of course, because we're in LA. Why am I not surprised? Take this train up to the set and await instructions from the director. Alright, well, in that case, let's get everything all set up here so that we can move the train. We got to turn this on. Then, we got to set the reverser handle, automatic brake cutout to cut in, forward, release. Apply power to get moving. Don't mind if I do. We're in the cab car again. We got to go 2 miles to Union Station. Where's the bell? This thing's kind of like the Silverliner 5s on Scepter, or any of the Silverliners. The reason I mentioned the Silverliner 5, though, is because that was built by Hyundai Rotem, just like this thing that we're driving. But I also called this jokingly a General Electric Genesis with seats for passengers. Another difference, though, between the Genesis and this cab car is that the Genesis had 2 windows, whereas this has 3. For some reason, though, I heard some complaints about these things. People don't seem to like the way this looks. Once again, we have a normal 4-car set being powered by the F-125. Like the Class 66 from the United Kingdom, this was built by EMD. The only difference, of course, between this and the Class 66 was that the Class 66, when it was constructed by EMD, was owned by General Motors. Caterpillar, or Progress Rail, currently owns EMD, and they were responsible for creating this locomotive. In fact, the prime mover for the F-125 is from Caterpillar. Let's go back to the top of the train here. I have a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, but that's soon going to change to 25. It would be nice if there was a little bit more variety here. Like, I know we're not driving trains on this portion of trackage with electricity. However, it would still be nice if you had a couple of AI trains running here. On the other hand, I'm not going to complain too much about it. Dovetail Games has done a really good job creating this game. You can see for yourself with all the detail and attention they've added here. And we just got hit by the bridge. You also want to be careful and make sure that you don't set the camera on this vent here, otherwise that will force you to go haywire as well. Alright, we've got brake 1 set here. Although I think it would help too if you used L2 to put on the brakes, like the actual brakes. We got the brake set up to 25%. I think we can hit R2 here to get the master controller off the brakes. 25% should be enough to get us to where we need to be. As we may have a 25 mile an hour speed limit now, but we are eventually going to have to slow down to 12. So right now, we should be fine. I might actually decrease the brakes if necessary. I thought that person was going to walk onto the tracks. I was a little worried there. There's a guy in green. This person right here. Right there, that person. There's two of them now, but I'm talking about this one right here. I probably could have gone a little further. I mean, the marker was right here, but I did not want to risk crashing into that. Switch cabs and drive the train to the starting position. Alright, so that means we gotta put this to handle off. And then this is going back to cutout. We're gonna take... Well, actually, we gotta change the fuel pump. Gotta change that. Change that. I'm sure we gotta change that as well. I'm not sure why that was saved for last. I mean, we probably could have done that. Like, just go here, 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 and there. It didn't have to be there, 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 and then that. But we got to set this to neutral and take the throttle out. I guess that's it. It says sit in the locomotive's engineer seat. That means we have to leave. We'll just walk down to the platform. Okay, close, please. The beeping means it's going to close by itself. We are fine. I hear another train. I can't see it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was another Metrolink train. Alright, let's close that door then. Set the... Alright, we did that already. We're going to put the reverser throttle in there. Then set that to forward. This is being set to passenger. Still don't understand why there's a freight mode for this. Alright, that is set to release. Apply power to get moving. Yes, sir. Oh, whoops, wrong way. We do have a red signal. And I think if we travel slowly enough, that signal will go away. We had this problem in our previous mission. I mean, not literally the previous mission, but the last time we were on this route, when we were required to go to the maintenance yards a few miles away. We had to sit there for a few minutes, but I have a feeling we're going to be fine here. There were some red signals we had to look out for while driving the Class 801 in the previous episode. And I was pretty cautious on that, so the fact that I overran one at the very last part of the mission was pretty embarrassing. But we're not going to make that mistake anymore. It also didn't help, too, that I overran the platform. Enjoy some fresh air here. ATS acknowledgement request. No. It's probably not something we can play with anyway. One thing we can play with, I know we had a lot of fun doing this last time we were in the F-125. Proceed as signals indicate. That is fine. Well, this one's yellow, so it's going to allow us to go past anyway. The next one, on the other hand, I want to pass. Because Dovetail Games, at least in the PC version, Train Simulator Classic, you can get permission to pass red signals. I don't remember which button it was on the keyboard, but you hit a certain button and you can get a message from the dispatcher saying, request to pass signal at danger, approved. I don't think we can do this here, but I'm sure that will change as we progress through this game. Matter of fact, I think we will set this to braking now. Only till we hit 5 miles an hour. Perhaps that signal is red because we're required to stop there. I didn't really think too much about that. But just for the hell of it, let's play with this thing again. I mentioned keyboards earlier. Kind of sounds like we're typing on one when I keep hitting this. Hey, this is a pretty good shot here. For this scene, the train has to keep up with the stunt car. Keep your speed high and pass each marker at the same time as the car. Get moving once the director gives the go-ahead. Well, it looks like we got a green signal right now, so by the time this message goes away, we should be able to proceed. Right now, though, it's saying wait for the director. That's 500 yards away, though, so I think we're safe to proceed. Let's wait for the brakes to go away. Snap a picture while we're at it. Everyone to positions, and we're going backwards. Hang on. All right, we got the word. Let's move. I guess the screenshot will wait till later. I know we have a certain amount of time we got to get to these objectives, but we also got to try not to go too fast. Hey, that looks pretty neat. I feel like I might have seen that signal tower in a video clip. It was just for a preview from a Pentrex video called the Southern Pacific Daylight Collection. However, that signal tower all the way back there at the crossing looked pretty familiar. I don't know why the camera went back here. Let's set it up here this time. So, I mean, we're not like actually on the locomotive, but we're hovering close enough to make it kind of realistic. I see the stun car right there. Well, it did say we had to keep up with it. I don't know if we're going too fast, but I definitely do not want to have it stay in front of me. We're going under the speed limit, so we'll give it some time to catch up. I hear a helicopter. Though I would not be surprised. Helicopters are used frequently for filming certain scenes. Where is it? Oh, it's right down there. No wonder I couldn't see it up in the sky. Alright, it says we gotta go to the final marker. Perfect run. The director is pleased and ready to film the scene. Head back to the starting point and prepare for another run. Well, in that case, we better put on the brakes. Alright, now we gotta get this on to test. We're probably gonna go back to the cab car. Just gotta set this to handle off. Turn these three off. Come on, there we go. Set the reverser to neutral. Take it out. Remove the yeah, I'm trying to do that. Do I gotta hit a certain spot? Like, there we go. Sit in the cab car's engineer seat. Alright, so we are going back to the cab car. I think we'll go out this way. Just to change things up. 906. Oh, you even have a camera propped up on there. Pretty cool. 906, you did a good job. This made me think of another train with another F unit. One of the F-40 PHs was used in a movie in 1979. I think it was called Disaster on the Coastline. While it was supposed to take place in California, though, I believe it was filmed somewhere in New England. It could have been Connecticut, Massachusetts. It had to be somewhere in the Northeast Corridor. I know that. 1979, if I remember correctly, was also the very first year that Amtrak started using the Phase 3 livery. Yeah, it'll be funny. I see a lot of people, I do this too with some of my characters, that have the eyes of a diesel or electric locomotive replace the windshield. Like, they have the eyes as the same shape of the windshield. Imagine that on this. Like, this guy has his right eye bigger than the other two eyes on the middle and left. That would be beautiful. I wonder if we're doing another take or if we're going to be filming something else. Anything's possible. We'll just have to be patient and see what the director has in mind. There's that signal tower again. Did I just call it a towel? I'm terribly sorry. I meant to say tower. Tower. Not towel. But hey, I know I'm not the only one that screws up when speaking sometimes. There's plenty of others that mispronounce certain words. Not the one that I said, but a few others. Now we're going to a different platform. All right. Now again, we might stop further away from that marker only because I do not want to crash into the buffers. All the way over there. Those things. I still have to figure out what spot cab means though. All right, once again, we're gonna do everything we need to get this done so that nobody can drive it while we get back in the 125. I don't care what order the markers tell us to do it. I'm doing it all the way left to right. Neutral. We just got to take it out. And we are clear to leave. Only this time we're going to leave this door closed. Again, so that nobody can drive our train. I still wish there was a button for you to jump. I despise when you hit square or circle, it just forces you to stop like that. Triangle and circle don't do anything. Why not have a jump button? Alright. I gotta see if I can also decrease the sensitivity of this joystick. Alright, once again, passenger mode. Let go of the brakes. And we're good. Okay, this time we have a red signal closer to the platform. So this time we got to come to a stop. Why is that signal red? The first one we're approaching is yellow, but for some reason, when we go past the switch there, you can see we got a red signal. That better change, or else that phone's going to be really sorry. You are going to be really sorry. All right, dispatcher, change this to green or I'm going to be a dick to you. Well, if that doesn't get the message across, I don't know what will. Alright, seriously, what the fuck is going on? Right, there's nothing even in our fucking way. Well, we got a passenger train coming, sure, but he could stop for us. We got something more important to do here. I wish I could just throw the switch and screw this guy up so that we could just move on. But no, we gotta stay here. At least he's getting closer. I just wish he wasn't going so slow. I mean, I know we got a 12-mile-an-hour speed limit and shit, but fuck. Hurry up. Alright, I'm not going to accelerate yet, but hopefully our signal will change once that locomotive gets out of our way. Okay, we're good. I forgot I had that open earlier. Well, at least this time we know we're supposed to stop here. That way we don't have to go crawling towards the marker at 5 miles an hour. Actually, I want to see if I can get that screenshot now if I can, because I like how this train looked while I was going around the curve. Alright, we should be good. All the crew in position, ready to film. Keep up with the stunt car. Yep, just like last time. I gotcha. The director will begin the countdown any moment. Ooh, I hear music. Alright. Wow. Since we actually have a camera right here, what do you say we get its perspective on all this? Now we got the reverser forward. I was hitting one of these buttons to see if I could turn the bell off instead of going back in here, but I guess that's not possible. Well, we did this before, we can do it again. Let's move the camera now, see if we can get a better view of the people in the LA River. Stunt car making its way away from the rig. We're making our way towards the marker there. Is it just me or is he going slow on purpose? I thought it'd be going a little faster, to be honest. There we go, he's following us now. We're going 30, it looks like he's going slightly faster. What was that? Was that the sound of the train glitching, or was that supposed to be an explosion? We went over the bridge that time. That looks pretty cool. That would make for a pretty cool action shot too. Just going over the bridge here, watching the train. We gotta go 50 now. I was so distracted by the wonderful magic of movie making that I didn't realize we were going under the speed limit there. We need to change that and go up to 50. There's the chopper again. Final marker, all right. Ah, so that wasn't a glitch. That was actually a jet, and it blew up the car. Or attempted to, anyway. We are once again required to stop. So I think right now will be a good place to apply the brakes. Got it set to over 50%. We're going to use the master controller as well to help us do some braking. Well, at least we didn't pass the red signal this time. Objective complete and cut. Nice driving out there. Let's see how you did. Well, now that we got to this point, I'm sure we all know that this mission has been completed. Yeah, we did get a speeding fine, but at least we were able to get bronze. Not the best, but that was still a lot of fun. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I think this time we're going to go to Germany and drive another electric passenger train if possible. Or if we got to do some freights, that's fine too. We'll figure it out once we get there. Until then, you guys take care. Have a great day.